is Sense Nation, where we make sense of life and reality.
Life is being alive.
What you can't use.
Hold up. There's no life without being alive. So if you're dead, so you're not talking about life, right? So that's always just a chance to be here. In the same space, alive. So now we're done never experience of life in that you're here. So let me look at kids. What is it that parents should be giving your kids? What do kids feel like parents are supposed to give them? Like, oh, the mom never told me, my dad never told me. So then I'll be told you like, what is that you never told? So at the end of it all is life is giving life to like a kid and giving them component of life, surviving through day in, day out. So if you're not surviving, you're not doing anything. So is that life?
But then it's life about survival at the same time.
Yeah, making it one day after the next, after the next, after the next.
Really, I would tend to think life is in that aspect. It is the mastery of what brings you alignment within yourself and what brings you joy. It's not what surviving. I feel like the term surviving is always used when you're grasping onto something, which is almost negative. Like I survived that. Like I was about to die, I survived. So would you live every single day trying to grasp something, or would you rather live in the abundance of being aligned from within out to, if it's work, how do you feel within out? Are you enjoying? Are you understanding when your body is protecting yourself? That kind of a thing. I don't know. I feel like parents giving it children the same way we live it to ourselves. And then we push that into children.
Oh, did you ever feel that?
What? As a child or as a parent? Because I'm not.
When did you ever feel that as a child?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how does it change now since now you're a parent? How are you connecting the two?
It's to first of all understand now that now being a parent is for you to understand that your parent probably raised you in the best that they could be, and thinking that they were in their best headspace, they pushed the best into you, which necessarily couldn't have been the right thing. So a parent who was raised by an angry parent, without even knowing, he is used to an angry environment, and that's his daily life. So he will push anger onto the child, one, because he's not even cognizant of the fact that the environment is angry. He thinks that's how life is. And he's battling a child who is happy because he does not understand why is your environment different. So this is the environment you should be. You should be angry. So let me shout at you because that is the environment you should be. And the child is reflecting, no, I should be happy. Everything is happy. I'm in the world. Everything is fresh and clean. Why are you angry? And I think that's why we should learn a lot from children, because they're raw. They don't have hidden little manuscripts, so they live life from a blank place. Yet us, we live life out of what has been inputted as a software in us. So there's chances of us not getting things correctly, and chances of them knowing how to live correctly because they don't have a manuscript that they are following.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that simple explanation, just that simple explanation comes and helps to make sense, to just understand. A kid has their own way of doing things, a parent has their own way of doing things. There are pros and cons, and actually, I think when you get to the parent, I can't wait for that. Like you trip with your kid, like you see a kid and, whoa, why did you think of that? And then tell you something, you're like, wow, okay, they've not lived that long. But still, this person is actually telling you stuff you're thinking about it. You're like, so given that you're like, how many more things are usually off just because you don't want to hear? Because that's something hard to, especially to listen to your kid.
Yeah. That's why I draw back to how I intentionally, keyword is intentionally, because everyone, I believe, one way or the other has been subjected to trauma or things that are traumatizing, or they've been subjected to a certain software of living without questioning it. So for me, I intentionally kaizen my life, continuously improving. And one of the simplest ways, which is very natural to us, is being in stillness, being in silence, because you have an internal compass that will always tell you, hapo umetupa mbao, my friend, hapo you're happy, uko sawa. So it's for you to realize and to drop down your ego and to understand also your ego is protecting you. It doesn't want probably you to feel ashamed. So it's protecting you and then it's saying, I'm correct. But it's not a bad thing. It's just trying to protect you. But you have to also come in with your mind and be like, anyway, I should have done it this way. Just that my ego doesn't want to allow me to do it this, to apologize and do the right thing. But deep down, everyone has the right moral compass. And that's why you see kids, they don't need any manuscript, but they know how to do things. And they're constantly happy. And they would change very fast. If you beat them, they'll be like, yeah, that was painful, man. But 2 minutes, they'll be like, oh no, by the way, can I get you? If I go say you, probably 2 years.
Oh,
You still have bitterness. Because life has taught you to sort of protect yourself. It's not a bad thing. Everything, for me, I view everything as your body naturally knows how to protect you. Just that you need to assure your body, thank you for protecting me, but we should have done it this way. This is the right way we should have done it. That's how I look at it. So always continually listening to myself and learning how to unlearn. And revisiting sometimes my past and the information I have right now and how do I want my future to be. Because we're always attracting something. Always. Good and bad. Always.
wow.
Always.
So, welcome to Sense Nation, where we make sense of life and reality, and that's how I get my guests. That's how I'm amazed by talking to different people, how we get into conversation, and because life is so vast, our realities are so different in so many ways, but in the same way, still come to be similar. We can talk of different things, and you're like, wow, I can use this, I can use this, I can use this. So I like how you talk about solitude and where you need to find yourself. But also another thing I should add is connecting with other people, because I believe life also is like a puzzle. There are pieces where you have to piece them yourself, and also pieces of the puzzle you get them from other people. You'll be like, oh, wow, it fits. Another person did that, and then the whole picture continues being bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
one way or another, this is why I love conversation. This is why I love the podcast, to make sense of life and reality, to make better, to make our lives and realities better. The information that you get with conversations with the groups you come to meet. So I'm happy to have met your BNI. I'm like, wow. And very actually is vice president. Come on, Kenya, ndio kwa wetu.
He's never been pro becoming president, so anyway,
So,
but it's okay.
exactly.
You
So
never know,
next
you
time
never
we'll be
know.
telling you about the president of our chapter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so welcome today, Naomi.
Thank you.
I'm very honored to have you today. Given here is a very spiritual person, very knowledgeable, good energy, can talk control, can drive you smoothly through a lot.
Come on. Okay.
Yes. You've taken us through meetings. And,
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
And she knows how to get in the punchlines and the jokes in there, and she knows how to catch them well. But again, more and over that is she's a CEO,
I am.
founder
I am.
of Harmony Belief,
Yeah.
Health to Organic. So other than me just saying all this kindly, let us know what you do. From my side, that's from my side. That hit me, and you need to have it, I guess.
All right. Thank you. Naomi Musuva. What do I do? I'm a parent. Yeah. So I do parenting. I also constantly do relearn myself. And in the concept of what people usually like to talk about, I try and extend people's life and equipping them, supporting them in different journeys and how they can incorporate different herbs, natural products to make sure that their body is healthy, and some they can combat their lifestyle diseases, and also to improve the facial image of most people, because we have a product that's very good for people who have acne or they're battling skin diseases. So this is the first thing of a person you meet, and if this is interfered with, every other thing naturally has a bit of a hitch, unless you master any other different way of approaching life. But automatically, how people see you and perceive, and the first comment they make, it communicates something within you. It can either make you feel happy, it can make you feel questionable, or whatever. Yeah. So I'm trying to help people feel good, look good. Yeah.
How do you get to this? How do you get to a place where you want to help people? Hold up. Yeah, how do you get to that? And first of all, what's your background in? And help us connect the two.
I see where you're coming. Okay. Confirm it's running.
It's running, and I guess I know that's crucial because I remember I did
You
not
never
put
filmed a full.
airplay podcast with those lines.
Was it?
You good to go?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So my educational background is I studied actuarial science. I love it. It's in the field of risk analysis and that kind of a situation. And right now I am dealing with health and wellness, which I deeply love. I'm very passionate about it. And one of the main reasons I'm passionate about it is the impacts. It's directly impacting people. And the biggest joy for me is to hear my clients come back to me to say that thank you for supporting me. This product actually worked. We have tried so many things, but this worked. And just the direct transformation of life is what I yearn for. I live for every day. Yeah.
So it's tricky. How for the people who don't know actuarial science,
Yeah.
what is actuarial science? As much as you've gone through it, you've done risk analysis.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, I mean, like, I like when somebody hears of something and be like, you can take it and go and tell somebody, but then it's on the actual science.
Yeah. Yeah. No, very true. Because many people have an assumption of what it is. So actuarial science is basically it's sort of financial, it's sort of mathematical, but it's not mathematical in terms of numbers. So in a layman's way of understanding it is, if I was gonna, most people associate it with insurances, but it's diverse than that. So like for insurance, there is something when you are taking a policy, they tell you this is the premium you should pay. So basically, an actuary, someone who studied actuarial science, is supposed to work behind how do you get to the premium. What are the factors that could affect anything? Is it your age, your health? So, and then calculating that to say for the next 20, 60 years, we think this one can survive probably another 10 years, another 20, 60, whatever, and monetizing that. So that's why you find younger people have a different percentage of premium as opposed to older people, etc. Yeah. So we are the people who calculate risk and life expectancy.
Yeah. So other than insurance, what other fields has an actuary?
An actuary work. I think about six, because there's pension actuaries, there's health, there's risk management, there's enterprise risk, there is yeah, there are a couple. There are a couple. Yeah, there are a couple.
Nice. No, even just that. Thank you for that, because either way you see your insurance, at least now you can pass that you are both.
Yeah.
Actually, to go and Google and see more about
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a long time since I practiced. I intend to practice it later on after I've established what my dream is with my company. Once I have it rolling, I am planning to add another thing within the field of actual sense, and then probably do a consultancy or work, etc. Yeah.
All the best. All the best. Hey man, dreams. Man. Keep going
Yeah.
towards your,
Yeah.
See, this is your dream company towards, and you're going towards making it bigger and bigger.
We haven't even started.
Oh, no, with the
Yeah.
good health program.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now this is your dream company.
Yeah.
Or your company. Dream company.
Which one?
No, health organic.
It is my company, but the vision is bigger than what you can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Essentially, what you can see right now is a storefront that supports local manufacturers who deal in the line of health and personal care or wellness space. But the bigger dream is to support single parents. So I'm constantly learning different skills of manufacturing, and essentially I'm doing that so that I can, in the future, or rather what I'm working towards is getting single parents, especially mothers, equipping them with these skills to manufacture these products. And my work is to look for markets for them. So, and this will vary across different counties. There's a twist to it, but yeah, but that's the general base plan
And I like
concept. Yeah.
I like when somebody starts explaining whatever they want to do and get, they're no longer just streets. They get to be able to.
Yeah.
Go around
And
and just
literally, I can
feel
see
the
it. I
passion,
can see
feel
it.
the energy. No, that's dope. Man.
Yeah.
All the best to that. I can't
Thank
wait
you.
to interview you 20 years later and be like, so how far have you been
20
doing
is
this?
too much. Give me 5.
No,
20 is too much.
I know. This is legacy. This is as in like
20 is
now,
too much.
which
Yeah.
Naomi. I feel like which company, helps to organic. Now it's household, man. It's like, yo, how don't you know that? Somebody's like, how you know she's using their products. You've been doing this for so long. It's like, I become right now, how many years have you? 80s, 70s. Still now, so I'm just waiting. So you see, 20 years. Naomi is, you need to get your products there. You want help? Please go get your products there. So one of the cheapest things about life is also that life has chances and has different ways, different sides to it.
Yeah.
So now you've come from material science and now you're doing this company and actually you're getting single mothers on board. What is this that you feel, what compelled you towards single mothers? Single parents? Is it mothers or mothers?
So it's parents, to be very gender based, but inclined more on the mothers, but not ignoring the boy child because I feel like it's something that people need to start focusing on to support them. Anyway, why single parents? I think life has given me the chance to live a part of my life as a single parent, to understand what they go through, to understand what they need, and to understand when you become a parent what is more important. Technically, it should be your child, and what encompasses your mind. And this also should support them in a way that they don't get into depression. Because having a child who needs to eat, do all these things, and then you're not having a source of income, and you still have to deal with yourself as a person. So many suicidal cases, so many depression cases. Like it's a hard task. So I'm pleased that life has given me a chance to experience that part. And I know, like I've experienced different parts of life, but that's one that I really hold dear. And I'm very passionate towards supporting that group of people going forward. Yeah, just to show them that they can learn something, they can immerse themselves into something, they can earn a living for their children, and they don't have to stay single. It opens up their confidence and they can probably get married. And also just be equipped to understand what is this marriage you want to get into,
And actually, this input of life. I'm a proud son to a single mom. So I like when you say it like that. So I'm just like, wow. I see my mom being like, you know what? Yeah, man, don't dare come in between me and my kids. Don't try and like you see what your personal mom has gone through, and you're like, whoa. So even in life, one of the trivial things is Are you not going to bed so full? You're like, oh. In the morning you wake up so hungry.
Absolutely.
Or in the morning you eat your food and you can't even breathe, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you by 10 o'clock your stomach is so empty. So that tells me that life you need to eat every day, you need to have fare every day, you need to pay your rent every month. Yeah, you're not alone now, and you're two of you, three of you. Then just that's times three now.
Absolutely.
Times
Yeah.
whoever more you are.
Whoever more you are. Yeah, exactly.
So now you take put a single parent there, father or mother, and it's just like whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's no longer your life, your kids. So thank you for that perspective. And now you see now, why do you want to make sense of life and reality? It's because for you make sense of your life and your reality as a mother, as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So for just for life, just to be able to make you need to make sense. You're like, hey, nimetoka, nimefanana, I can use this in this kind of way.
Yeah.
I can go to Iceland, go to Antarctica, you go to US, you go to the caves. Everybody's still surviving. So
yeah.
It's the essential of life. It makes sense of it.
Yeah, and you know the one thing that I'm listening through what you're saying, and probably it's something that probably your viewers, you, me, we can always constantly learn from is there's always an attraction that you build around yourself, right? And probably I would ask you, ever since you had this concept of sense nation, I'm sure between then and now there's so much sense that keeps on coming to you.
Every time, every day.
Because that is what you deeply desired, genuinely from within. So what life is doing is it's supporting you and it's sending everything to do with that your way, right? And that's the view of life. If I'll tell you something very interesting. I have been postponing to start a podcast, and the last 2 weeks or so I have been sitting down and I'm like, okay, we need to get this thing done. And you see, life attracted you to me.
Wow.
So what I'm trying to say is we're in constant attraction. There's only a difference in gap for time, and time is important because if we were to attract everything immediately, imagine if you thought about an elephant and an elephant just came on here right now, you'd be like, hey, I was joking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. And it's not easy, it's not hard and it's not easy. It's you just have to constantly be aware of it. So for me, when I had an aha moment to do with health, everything just started making sense. Everything just started attracting themselves to me, and that's how life is. And if you constantly think about wrong things, how your day is gonna be bad, I kid you not, this stuff is gonna fall on you and it will fall off you. Because it's supporting what you're trying to attract. Everything is trying to support you. If you're asking for anything negative, it will come to support your wishes. I'm wishing for negativity. So, and if you're wishing for positivity, everything will work towards that. And that's what people are probably calling manifestation, but it's deeper than that, but it's true. Yeah, you manifest what you think because that's the world you create. For you now, the world that you live in is always, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Because that's where your mind is. Yeah. That's what you're attracting.
Hey, for this episode today is just like, you know what? You have the power. You have the power.
You do.
Actually, I'm liking that because that's today is you showing who have the power to do whatever they want to do. They attract what they need to do.
Yeah.
And the universe provides to that. So again, you're not just a person going through life, just this hit to this, just going through this. You actually have the power to bring to you all what you need. And it's work, as you said. Negativity is, you're trying to wish for something. You're hoping for something good, but you're always just thinking about bad things and bad things. You're like,
yeah.
Do you think you'll be able to see that good thing? And
the weirdest thing that I've also learned is they say we only use 5% of our conscious brain. So you can imagine if 5% of what you're conscious about, you're attracting negativity, what is happening with your next 5% that you're not conscious about? It is probably attracting more of that. You know what I mean? I know. I know. And your body is constantly telling you when you're doing attracting right and wrong. That's when you wake up and you're feeling low. Probably your subconscious is thinking about something negative, and your body is just telling you, hey, listen, I'm feeling okay right now. There's something that your mind is thinking about that is not giving me joy. You might not be consciously aware of what it is, but then you can, there's a trick to it. You can bring back your conscious mind into positivity. You can play music that makes you happy. You can make a phone call that you're sure you will love, because then now it flips your line of thought into positivity. It's the same thing if right now I tell you, please think about someone who you have missed and you have talked to for a long time. Keep that to yourself. I guarantee you they will get in touch within a short. Because that's how life is. I'm not being a genie, and it's a reality.
When did you know? When did you know this? When did you discover this? When did you? Because obviously there's a time when you're like, when you see that you're like,
exactly.
It actually happens.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to convince you that? Was it a struggle?
So it's constant. What I'm very curious about in my life is what I said. Being intentional and being aware. So I try and make myself aware almost all the time. And just, it's good to be around people, and it's also very key to be within yourself, and not just be within yourself, to listen on what's going on within yourself. That's how I started, to be very honest. And then just the same thing, attraction. When I started becoming keen about what's going on, then things just, information starts coming. You find interesting podcasts to listen to. You bump into someone who will tell you something, and you're like, oh my god. And but you have to want it. And the trick is you have to want it in a positive way. And for those who are biblical, I think in the Bible they say, ask and you shall receive.
Yeah.
Literally. Ask for the negative thing, you shall receive it. Ask for anything positive, you shall receive it. There's another Bible verse that they say, search for what? For the kingdom of God, and how does it go?
It goes, first seek the kingdom of God and everything shall come to you.
Yeah. Yeah, and all these other things will be given unto you. Because all these things are there. So just seek, all these things are constantly there. But you see, when you're seeking God, you're always seeking positivity. You're always seeking abundance, prosperity. You're always seeking long life. You're always seeking health. These other things are coming onto that. You get what I mean? Yeah, you're always seeking. When you're seeking to God, you don't go and go, oh my God, God, I want an accident today.
Whoa.
For sure.
I've gone through them. I will not.
Yeah, you know, like God, today I'm seeking heartbreak.
Oh, Lord.
You always go for positivity. You always go for assurance. And then these things are adding on to you. So the assurance will start coming your way. The positivity starts coming your way. But it's because you're seeking them first. You're instructing them to attract them back to you.
It's the science of life.
Life is in the simple things. We just try and complicate it, to be honest. Right?
Actually, Proverbs, I think Proverbs or Ecclesiastes says that life is simple, but human beings complicated.
We do, and I'm not perfect, and I'm working towards it. And the funny thing about life is, it will always challenge you to make sure that what you're asking for is what you really want. So, let's say you can think about the most outrageous thing, and you're like, by the end of this year, I want to have $1 million in my account. I guarantee you'll be broke at some point. And that brokenness is what will guarantee whether you get your million or not.
This is Sense Nation. Sense Nation.
The Sense Nation.
Where we make sense of life and reality.